All right, y'all. Welcome to WLAW Law Talk Radio 98.3.com FM. I am your host, Chris One of the Chris One Radio Group. And if you're new to the channel, man, please by all means hit that like button. Also hit that subscribe button and that notification bell. I appreciate individuals of always supporting the movement. And I just want to bring and start bringing things to you guys based on what everybody else, some other individuals' expertise, where I get my knowledge from, et cetera, et cetera. I am going to play a video by our beloved great president, Donald Trump, and he's going to start this video off, this speech off, by talking about the Democrats' agenda from the summer. Now, the reason why the Democrats saved the COVID relief, the Democrats was under the impression that with all their voter fraud, that they would have a Democratic president in office. And a Democratic president will do what they want him to do, or what Democrats do, excuse me. Democrats are not for the working people. Democrats are not for the Americans. When I navigated myself through the social media and I seen black individuals jumping up and down cooning because it was presumed that Donald Trump lost, my jaw dropped. My jaw dropped because I didn't understand why didn't these individuals see what the Democrats was doing. So because if you didn't know what the Democrats is doing, or if you are a Democrat, I need you to leave a comment below and explain this stupidity of what the Democrats wanted in this COVID bill, on our beloved president just vetoed. Roll that joint.
Throughout the summer, Democrats cruelly blocked COVID relief legislation in an effort to advance their extreme left-wing agenda and influence the election. Then, a few months ago, Congress started negotiations on a new package to get urgently needed help to the American people. It's taken forever. However, the bill they are now planning to send back to my desk is much different than anticipated. It really is a disgrace. For example, among the more than 5,000 pages in this bill, which nobody in Congress has read because of its length and complexity, it's called the COVID Relief Bill, but it has almost nothing to do with COVID. This bill contains $85.5 million for assistance to Cambodia, $134 million to Burma, $1.3 billion for Egypt and the Egyptian military, which will go out and buy almost exclusively Russian military equipment. $25 million for democracy and gender programs in Pakistan. $505 million to Belize, Costa Rica, El Salvador, Guatemala, Honduras, Nicaragua, and Panama. $40 million for the Kennedy Center in Washington, D.C., which is not even open for business. $1 billion for the Smithsonian, and an additional $154 million for the National Gallery of Art. Likewise, these facilities are essentially not open. $7 million for reef fish management, $25 million to combat Asian carp, $2.5 million to count the number of amberjack fish in the Gulf of Mexico, a provision to promote the breeding of fish in federal hatcheries, $3 million in poultry production technology, $2 million to research the impact of down trees, $566 million for construction projects at the FBI. The bill also allows stimulus checks for the family members of illegal aliens, allowing them to get up to $1,800 each. This is far more than the Americans are given.
Explain that.
Despite all of this wasteful spending and much more, the $900 billion package provides hardworking taxpayers with only $600 each in relief payments.
But they want to give $1,800 to illegal immigrants.
And in particular restaurants, whose owners have suffered so grievously. They were only given a deduction for others to use in business their restaurant for 2 years. This 2-year period must be withdrawn, which will allow the owners to obtain financing and get their restaurants back in condition. Congress can terminate it at a much later date, but 2 years is not acceptable. It's not enough. Congress found plenty of money for foreign countries, lobbyists, and special interests while sending the bare minimum to the American people who need it. It wasn't their fault. It was China's fault, not their fault. I am asking Congress to amend this bill and increase the ridiculously low $600 to $2,000 or $4,000 for a couple. I'm also asking Congress to immediately get rid of the wasteful and unnecessary items from this legislation and to send me a suitable bill, or else the next administration will have to deliver a COVID relief package, and maybe that administration will be me, and we will get it done.
The funny thing is, when I post things to explain to you black folks about Democrats, you guys actually have the audacity to come to me and start telling me the quote unquote good things that they've done. Look up the bill for yourself. Navigate yourself around social media and see the educated people that were saying that Donald Trump need to veto this bill, and he did. But these are your Democrats. This is what you voted for. Wake up.